Amelia woke up in her quarters aboard the human ship feeling strange. Her dreams had been filled with images of the alien queen, her golden eyes and shifting skin colors. Amelia still could not believe what had happened. She was engaged to marry Queen Zara of the Valerians due to a simple misunderstanding. She got dressed quickly. Admiral Kate had called for a meeting to discuss their new alliance with the Valerians after yesterday's battle with the Dravak ships. Amelia wondered how they would handle her accidental engagement. The diplomatic team was probably working overtime to find a way out of this mess, without offending their new allies. When Amelia entered the conference room, all eyes turned to her, some with curiosity, others with barely hidden amusement. Commander Lily stood at the front of the room beside Admiral Kate. "Well, if it isn't our future alien queen," Admiral Kate said with a small smile that made Amelia blush. "I didn't mean to." Amelia started, but Admiral Kate raised her hand. "Actually, your mistake might be the best thing that could have happened to us. The Valerians are now treating us as family, rather than just potential allies. They're offering technology, sharing scientific knowledge, even defensive capabilities that would normally take years of negotiation." Amelia blinked, surprised. "You mean you want me to go through with this, Commander?" Lily stepped forward, her expression serious. "We want you to consider it. The alliance could save millions of lives, give humanity a real foothold in the galactic community." Amelia sat down, feeling the weight of this responsibility. "I'm just an engineer, not a diplomat, Admiral." Kate nodded. "We know, which is why the choice is yours. Officially, we can't order you to marry anyone. But think about what this means for humanity." Before Amelia could respond, the doors opened, and Queen Zara entered the room. Her iridescent skin glowed with a soft blue light today, her forearms adorned with simple silver bands. Her presence immediately commanded attention as she glided across the floor. "Good morning," she said, her voice melodic through the neural translator. "I hope I am not interrupting." Admiral Kate welcomed her warmly. "Not at all. Your Majesty, we were just discussing our next steps." The Queen's eyes found Amelia, and her skin rippled briefly with pink tones. "I wish to invite my betrothed to visit my ship today. There are customs we must observe if the bonding is to proceed properly." Amelia felt her heart race, but she nodded, trying to appear calm. "Of course I'd be honored." The Valerian ship was unlike anything Amelia had ever seen. The walls seemed alive with pulsing crystal technology that responded to the touch and thoughts of the Valerians walking through. The corridors, Amelia saw that everything was designed with an elegant efficiency that made human technology seem primitive by comparison. Queen Zara led her to a large chamber where several other Valerians waited. Their skin colors varied from deep purple to bright turquoise. They bowed when the Queen entered. "These are my advisors and friends," the Queen explained. "Each will present you with a gift according to our customs." The first Valerian stepped forward, her skin a deep violet. She held out what looked like a small crystal. "This contains the history of our people. May it help you understand who we are." One by one, each Valerian presented Amelia with gifts: a piece of living fabric that adjusted to body temperature, a small device that could translate any language without neural implants, a vial of iridescent liquid that the Queen explained would allow Amelia to see the world as Valerians did for a short time. The ceremony was beautiful, Amelia had to admit, and the Valerians treated her with genuine respect. When it was over, Queen Zara dismissed her advisors. "Now we have time to ourselves," she said. "Would you like to see the gardens?" The garden level of the ship took Amelia's breath away. Plants from a dozen worlds grew in harmony, creating a paradise of colors and scents she had never experienced. Water flowed through crystal channels, reflecting light in mesmerizing patterns. "It's beautiful," Amelia said honestly. The Queen's skin shifted to a pleased golden hue. "I come here to think when decisions weigh heavily on me." They walked side by side in comfortable silence for a while before Amelia gathered her courage. "Your Majesty, about our engagement. I should explain." "Call me Zara." "Please." The Queen interrupted her. 4 hands clasped in front of her. and I understand your hesitation. Our customs are strange to you just as yours are to me. But I believe there was a reason. Fate brought us together. Amelia stopped walking, turning to face the Queen directly. You don't even know me. Why would you want this? Zara's eyes seemed to glow more intensely. I have lived for 120 of your Earth years. I have led my people through war and peace, made countless decisions that shaped the destiny of millions. But I have never met anyone who looked at me as simply as you, do not as a queen, but as a person. Amelia hadn't expected such honesty. She found herself wanting to know more about this fascinating being. But before she could respond, an alarm sounded throughout the ship. The Queen's skin immediately shifted to alert red. Not again, she said. They hurried to the command center where Valerian officers worked at crystal consoles. One of them approached the Queen, speaking rapidly in their native language. What's happening? Amelia asked. Dravak ships, the Queen replied. They have returned with reinforcements. They demand I surrender myself to them, or they will destroy both our vessels. Amelia felt cold fear grip her. We beat them once, we can do it again. The Queen touched her shoulder gently, a gesture that somehow calmed Amelia's racing heart. They know about our modified weapons. They are prepared this time. Their new shields will not be vulnerable to the same trick, Admiral. Kate's face appeared on the main screen. We're detecting multiple Dravak vessels approaching, Your Majesty. We should combine our defensive capabilities. The Queen agreed, and within moments plans were being made to merge the defensive systems of both ships. Amelia worked alongside Valerian, engineers creating interfaces between the two different technologies. It was challenging work, but she found the alien engineers quick to understand her ideas as they worked. Amelia noticed one of the Valerians watching her closely. His skin had an unusual gray tone that seemed different from the others. Something about him made her uneasy, but she focused on her task, just as they completed the defense integration. The first Dravak missiles struck. Both ships shuddered under the impact, but the combined shields held. The Queen stood tall in the command center, her forearms operating different controls as she directed her forces. The battle was fierce, weapons fire lighting up space around them. Amelia watched in awe as Zara commanded with calm authority. Then Amelia noticed something strange on one of the monitoring screens. Internal security had been compromised. Something was happening in the engine room. She quietly slipped away from the command center, following her instincts. In the engine room, she found the gray-skinned Valerian placing a small device on the main power core. Her engineering training told her immediately. It was some kind of bomb. Hey, she called out. What are you doing? The Valerian turned his skin, now shifting to an angry red. You should not be here, human. He lunged toward her. Amelia ducked as the gray-skinned Valerian attacked her. She rolled to the side, using the training she had received during basic Space Corps education. The Valerian was strong, but Amelia was quick. She grabbed a nearby tool and swung it at her attacker, catching him off balance. Who are you? She demanded. Why are you trying to sabotage the ship? The Valerian hissed, his skin now pulsing with angry red patterns. I am Dravak, not Valerian. A shapeshifter sent to eliminate the Queen and end this alliance. Amelia kept her distance, circling the saboteur. The bomb on the power core continued to blink ominously. She needed to alert someone but couldn't reach her communicator without exposing herself to attack. You won't succeed, she said, trying to keep him talking, while she looked for an opportunity. They'll stop the attack. The Dravak spy laughed. No one will stop anything once this ship explodes. Your death and the Queen's will trigger war between our peoples. The Dravak will finally conquer this sector while humans and Valerians destroy each other with blame. Amelia noticed a panel near her right hand. It controlled the environmental systems in this section of the ship. She had an idea. If Valerians could change the color of their skin, perhaps they had specific environmental needs. Lunging for the panel, she quickly input commands before the spy could stop her. The temperature in the room plummeted rapidly, dropping well below freezing. The effect on the Dravak was immediate. His movements slowed, his skin hardening as if freezing from within. Amelia endured the cold, wrapping her arms around herself as she edged toward the bomb on the power core. The device was unlike anything she had seen before, alien technology with a pulsing core. She knew enough about explosives to know that removing it might trigger detonation. Instead, she accessed the ship's systems from a nearby terminal. If she couldn't disable the bomb, maybe she could contain the explosion. She activated the emergency containment fields around the power core, then hit the alarm. Finally, she grabbed her communicator emergency in the engine room. She shouted, "Saboteur and explosive device." The Dravak spy was beginning to recover. Despite the cold, he moved toward her again, though more slowly than before. The doors slid open and Queen Zara rushed in, flanked by guards. The Queen took in the scene immediately. Her eyes went to the bomb, then to the Dravak spy, then finally to Amelia. Her skin flared bright with what Amelia would later learn was protective rage. The guards subdued the spy while the Queen approached the bomb. Her four hands worked with incredible speed, removing the outer casing of the device. "This is Dravak technology," she said, "designed to overload our crystal core," which means she carefully extracted a pulsing crystal from the center of the device. The bomb immediately went dark. "It needs this element to function," she explained, holding the crystal carefully. Separating it renders the bomb inert. Amelia let out a breath she hadn't realized she was holding. That was close. The Queen looked at her with new respect. "How did you discover the spy?" "I noticed his skin color was wrong," Amelia explained, "and he kept watching me like he was nervous." The Queen's skin rippled with impressed blue tones. "You have good instincts for a human," Amelia smiled despite herself. The Dravak spy was taken away for questioning, and the battle outside continued. After the sabotage attempt, security was increased throughout both ships. Amelia found herself working alongside Queen Zara, coordinating the defenses. The Queen had insisted she remain close, perhaps for protection, perhaps for something else. The Dravak ships had surrounded them now, their weapons continually testing. The combined shields. Admiral Kate appeared on the communication screen. Her face grim. "Our shields are holding, but we can't keep this up forever," she reported. "We need a counteroffensive." The Queen nodded. "We have been analyzing their attack pattern. There is a vulnerability in their formation. Two ships on the eastern flank are maintaining position to cover a blind spot in their sensor array." Amelia studied the tactical display, noticing what the Queen had seen. If they could get a small vessel through that gap, they might be able to disrupt the Dravak formation. "What if we use one of the mining shuttles?" she suggested. "Their sensors are calibrated to ignore smaller vessels, especially those with mineral signatures." The Queen's eyes brightened. "A brilliant suggestion. But who would pilot such a mission?" "The shuttle would need to be manually controlled to avoid detection." Everyone in the command center went quiet. "The mission would be extremely dangerous." "I'll go," Amelia said. "I know how to pilot those shuttles." The Queen's skin darkened. "No, it is too dangerous." Admiral Kate spoke up from the screen. "We don't have many options, Your Majesty, and Amelia is one of our best pilots." The Queen looked at Amelia, her golden eyes showing emotions that needed no translation. "I will not order you to do this. I'm volunteering." Amelia said simply, "I can do it." Preparations were made quickly. The mining shuttle was loaded with a special payload designed by the Valerian scientists, a disruption device that would temporarily disable the Dravak shields if it could get close enough. As Amelia prepared to board the shuttle, Queen Zara approached her. The Queen's skin was unusually pale, almost translucent. "You must return." The Queen said, her voice low. "There are still many customs we must observe before our bonding." Amelia felt a strange flutter in her chest at those words. Was she actually beginning to look forward to these alien marriage customs? She smiled, trying to lighten the mood. "I wouldn't want to miss that." The Queen reached out one of her hands hesitantly, then placed it against Amelia's cheek. The touch sent a warm, tingling sensation through Amelia's body. "In my culture," she said, "we believe that when two souls are meant to find each other, not even the void of space can keep them apart. I will be monitoring your progress every moment." Amelia nodded, unable to speak past the sudden lump in her throat. She boarded the shuttle and prepared for launch. The small craft slipped away from the Valerian ship its systems running minimal power to avoid detection. Amelia guided it carefully through debris from the battle, staying close to larger fragments to mask her approach. The Dravac ships loomed ahead of her, massive and menacing. Their attention remained focused on the human and Valerian vessels, allowing Amelia to approach undetected. She navigated through the gap the Queen had identified, holding her breath as she passed between two Dravac destroyers. Their hulls were so close, she could see the details of their weapon arrays. Once through, she approached the command ship. Her target was its main communication array. If she could plant the disruption device there, it would cascade through the entire Dravac fleet. As she maneuvered closer, an alarm sounded. They had spotted her. Immediately, defensive weapons turned in her direction. Energy blasts filled the space around her shuttle. Amelia pushed the mining vessel to its limits, performing evasive maneuvers that strained its simple design. She was close enough now to see her target. The shuttle rocked as it took a glancing hit. Warning lights flashed across her control panel. She was losing power. Amelia made a split-second decision. She activated the shuttle's mining drill and aimed directly for the Dravac ship's hull. The reinforced drill bit designed to penetrate asteroids made contact with the enemy vessel, creating a breach just large enough for Amelia to launch the disruption device directly inside. Mission accomplished, she reported over the comm. But I'm losing control. The shuttle's damage. Amelia heard Queen Zara's voice over the communication system. Can you reach the emergency escape pod? She checked her systems. No, the pod was damaged in the attack. I need to try something else. Amelia directed the failing shuttle toward one of the Dravac ship's external docking bays. It was a desperate move, but her only chance. The shuttle crashed through the magnetic barrier in an explosion of sparks and debris inside. The Dravac ship alarms blared. Amelia grabbed the emergency survival pack from under her seat and slipped out of the wrecked shuttle. She needed to find another way off this ship, and fast. As she made her way through the alien corridors, she could hear the disruption device taking effect. Systems were failing throughout the vessel. She ducked into shadows whenever Dravac crew members ran past. Meanwhile, on the Valerian command ship, Queen Zara watched as the disruption spread through the enemy fleet. Their shields were failing, their weapons going offline. Admiral Kate's voice came through. We can break through their line now, Your Majesty. But the Queen was focused on a different screen, tracking Amelia's life signs from the neural link they shared. We must retrieve her first, she insisted. We cannot leave her behind. Amelia found herself in what appeared to be a hangar bay. Smaller Dravac fighter craft sat in launch positions. She had trained in various spacecraft. She might be able to pilot one of these. Amelia approached one of the Dravac fighter craft. It was smaller than human ships, with controls designed for reptilian hands. She climbed into the cockpit, studying the unfamiliar layout. The disruption device she had planted was working throughout the ship, making it easier for her to access systems without setting off alarms. She activated the fighter's systems lights, flickering to life across the control panel. Amelia had always been good at figuring out new technology. It was why she had been selected for the first contact mission. She quickly identified the most important controls using her engineer's intuition. The hangar bay doors were closed, but emergency protocols had activated, allowing manual override. Amelia initiated the launch sequence, praying the fighter would respond to her commands. The craft hummed to life, rising from the deck. Alarms blared as Dravac soldiers entered the hangar bay, firing weapons at her stolen vessel. Amelia punched the thrusters, and the fighter shot toward the partially opened bay doors, scraping through with barely inches to spare. She was free of the Dravac ship, but not out of danger yet. The entire enemy fleet was in chaos, their systems disrupted, but they were beginning to recover. Amelia pushed the unfamiliar craft toward the Valerian and human ships still engaging with the Dravac fleet. On the Valerian command ship, Queen Zara spotted the approaching fighter. Hold fire, she commanded. That is not a Dravac pilot. How can you be sure, Admiral? Kate asked over the communication link. I can feel her, the Queen replied, her skin glowing with certainty. The human and Valerian ships ceased fire, allowing Amelia's stolen fighter to approach. As she neared the Valerian vessel, a tractor beam locked, onto her craft, guiding it safely into a docking bay. When Amelia emerged from the fighter, Queen Zara was waiting. The Queen's skin was radiating waves of bright golden light, a sign of extreme emotion, Amelia would later learn. Before she could say anything, the Queen swept forward, wrapping all four arms around her in an embrace. "You returned," Zara whispered, her voice filled with relief. "I promised I would." Amelia replied, surprised by how natural it felt to be held by the alien queen. Their reunion was short-lived as the ship shuddered around them. The Dravak fleet was recovering from the disruption, mounting a desperate counterattack. "We must return to the command center," the Queen said. Together they rushed back, just as Admiral Kate appeared. On the main screen, "The disruption worked," she reported. "Most of their fleet is still struggling with systems failures. This is our chance to end this." The Queen nodded to her tactical officer. "Deploy the crystal array." Amelia watched in amazement as sections of the Valyrian ship reconfigured panels opened along the hull, revealing crystalline structures that began to glow with intense energy. "What is that?" she asked. "Our main defensive weapon," the Queen explained. "It can create a localized spatial disruption." The crystals pulsed in a synchronized pattern, building energy until they released it in a blinding wave that spread outward, engulfing the Dravak fleet. Their ships froze in place, caught in what appeared to be a bubble of distorted space. "We have temporarily suspended them in a time dilation field," the Queen explained. "It will not hold forever, but it gives us time to escape and call for reinforcements." Admiral Kate's expression was impressed. "That's incredible technology, Your Majesty." The Queen's skin rippled with modest blue. "They cannot pursue us for approximately 6 of your Earth hours. We should use this time to reach the nearest Valyrian outpost, as the human and Valyrian ships disengage from battle, setting course for safety." Amelia found herself invited to a private meeting with Admiral Kate, Queen Zara, and the highest-ranking officers from both vessels. "You have proven yourself today," Admiral Kate said to Amelia. "Your actions saved both our ships and possibly this alliance." The Queen's skin glowed with pride. "My future mate has the heart of a Valyrian warrior." Amelia felt herself blush at the possessive tone in the Queen's voice. Despite everything that had happened, she still wasn't sure about this accidental engagement, but she couldn't deny the connection she felt to the alien ruler. "There is another matter we must discuss," the Queen continued. Her expression grew serious. "Our intelligence suggests the Dravak will not stop. Their forces are vast, and they see our alliance as a threat to their expansion." Admiral Kate nodded. "We came to the same conclusion. This attack was just the beginning." Amelia listened as they discussed strategy. She was surprised when the Queen turned to her. "What are your thoughts, Amelia?" The Queen asked. "Your perspective has proven valuable." Amelia hadn't expected to be consulted in such high-level discussions, but she spoke her mind. "The Dravak seem to fear our alliance more than either of our species individually. That means we're stronger together. We need to formalize this alliance, bring in more support from both Earth and Valyria." The Queen's skin brightened. "Precisely why our bonding ceremony is so important. It will symbolize the permanent union of our peoples." Admiral Kate agreed. "The symbolic importance cannot be overstated. Earth's leadership is already preparing for diplomatic ceremonies." Amelia felt the weight of expectations settling on her shoulders. What had begun as a simple mistake was now being treated as a crucial political alliance. And she was at the center of it all. Later, as the ships traveled through space, Amelia found herself again in the Queen's private garden. The events of the day had left her exhausted, but too wired to sleep. The Queen joined her, moving gracefully along the crystal-lined paths. "You fought bravely today," the Queen said. Amelia shrugged. "I just did what needed to be done." They sat together beside a pool of luminescent water. The Queen's reflection rippled in the surface, her skin cycling through gentle colors. "May I ask you something?" Amelia said after a comfortable silence. "Of course," the Queen replied. "If this hadn't happened, if I hadn't accidentally proposed, would you still want this alliance between our peoples?" The Queen considered this, her golden eyes thoughtful. We would have sought friendship with humans eventually, but perhaps not with the same urgency, perhaps not with the same depth. Her skin shifted to a deep violet, a color Amelia hadn't seen before. Sometimes the universe has its own, wisdom bringing together what should be joined. Amelia studied the alien queen, noting the elegant lines of her face, the way her four hands moved with such precision, the intelligence in those golden eyes. Zara was undeniably beautiful in her alien way, but could Amelia really marry her? I'm still not sure about this, Amelia admitted. I never planned to get married, not even to a human. And now, the queen's expression was understanding. You fear losing yourself, becoming merely a symbol. Yes, Amelia said, surprised at how well Zara understood. I'm an engineer, not a diplomat or a queen. The queen smiled, a gesture she had clearly learned to mimic for human comfort. On my world, rulers must have practical skills. I was a crystal engineer before I ascended to the throne. It is why I understand your work so well. We are not so different. You and I. Something about that revelation made Amelia see the queen in a new light. Not just as an alien ruler, but as someone who understood what it meant to work with your hands to solve practical problems. As their ships approached the Valerian outpost, preparations began for their arrival. The outpost was a massive structure orbiting a gas giant. Its crystalline architecture reminded Amelia of coral formations on Earth, beautiful and complex. Upon docking, they were greeted by a delegation of Valerian officials, all eager to meet the human who had captured their queen's attention. Amelia found herself the center of curious stares, her every move observed and discussed. The queen noticed her discomfort and whispered, "They are simply curious. Our people have had limited contact with humans." A formal dinner was arranged to celebrate their arrival and the successful defense against the Dravak. Amelia found herself seated beside the queen at a long crystalline table, Valerian and human officers interspersed in a gesture of unity. The food was a careful selection of dishes from both worlds, prepared to be edible for both species. During the meal, one of the Valerian elders raised a toast to Queen Zara and her human mate. May their union bring strength to all our peoples. Amelia sipped the sweet Valerian wine, feeling slightly overwhelmed by it all. The queen's hand briefly touched hers. Under the table, a gesture of support that Amelia appreciated more than she expected. After dinner, the queen showed Amelia to her quarters on the outpost. They were luxurious, with views of the gas giant's swirling storms. A beautiful sight that reminded Amelia just how far from home she truly was. The queen lingered at the doorway, her skin cycling through colors Amelia was beginning to recognize as nervousness. Tomorrow we begin preparations for the formal announcement of our engagement, the queen said. Our custom dictates a 7-day celebration before the bonding ceremony. 7 days, Amelia echoed. That's not much time. The queen's expression softened. Would you prefer more time to consider? Amelia thought about everything that had happened in just a few days. How quickly her life had changed. How her simple mistake had created an alliance that might protect both their peoples. I just need to understand what I'm getting into, she said honestly. What does being your mate actually mean? Queen's skin brightened at the directness of the question. Among my people, the ruler's mate is not merely a consort, but an equal partner in leadership. You would have authority, voice in decisions, responsibilities to my people. And us personally? Amelia asked what would be expected. Amelia considered the queen's words. The idea of being an equal partner rather than just a symbolic figure was appealing, but doubts still lingered in her mind. What about Earth, she asked. Would I ever see my home again? The queen moved closer, her skin shifting to a reassuring blue. Of course, as ruler, I travel throughout our territories regularly. Earth would become part of our regular diplomatic circuit, and you would be free to visit whenever you wished with proper security. The bond does not create a prison but a home with many doors. Something in the queen's gentle explanation touched Amelia. Her fears of being trapped or used as a political pawn were being addressed with genuine care. I should let you rest, the queen said, sensing Amelia's fatigue. Tomorrow will bring many new experiences. After the Queen left, Amelia stood at the viewport watching the storms on the gas giant swirl in hypnotic patterns. Her life had always been predictable. She had planned to be an engineer, maybe work her way up to chief someday. Nothing in her plans had included accidentally proposing to an alien queen or becoming part of an interstellar alliance. Yet here she was. And strangest of all, she was entirely unhappy about it. The next morning, Amelia was awakened by soft chiming sounds. A Valerian attendant entered carrying what appeared to be clothing. "The Queen requests your presence for the Day of Colors," the attendant explained. "It is the first of our bonding rituals." Amelia was brought to a large circular chamber. The walls were lined with crystals that caught and amplified light, creating rainbow patterns across the floor. Queen Zara waited in the center, wearing ceremonial attire that left her forearms bare. Her skin was shifting through all the colors Amelia had seen before, and many she hadn't, creating a dazzling display. "You look beautiful," Amelia said before she could stop herself. The Queen's skin flashed pink briefly. "The Day of Colors is when bonded pairs share their true selves," she explained. "For my people, that means revealing all the colors of our emotions. You have seen some already, but today I hide nothing." As she spoke, her skin rippled through joy, shone as gold, worry as gray, curiosity as turquoise, and something deeper, more intense, that manifested as a rich purple. Amelia realized she was seeing the Queen's emotions laid bare for humans. The Queen continued, "We have adapted the ritual. You will wear this." She presented Amelia with what looked like a thin circlet of crystal. "It will create a temporary bond, allowing me to sense your emotions as you can see mine," the Queen explained. "It only works if you consent." Amelia hesitated. This seemed incredibly intimate. "Will you be able to read my thoughts?" she asked. The Queen shook her head. "Only emotions. And only while you wear it. You may remove it at any time." Amelia took a deep breath and placed the circlet on her head. Immediately she gasped. The connection was nothing like she expected. She could feel Zara's emotions, not as colors but as sensations: hope, nervousness, excitement, affection. They washed over her like waves, yet somehow she knew they weren't her own feelings. The Queen's skin brightened. "Can you feel it?" Amelia nodded, unable to speak past the lump in her throat. The intimacy was overwhelming but not unpleasant. It felt like being truly seen, perhaps for the first time. Together they moved through a series of ritual steps, the Queen guiding Amelia with gentle touches. Their emotional connection deepened. As they shared this strange, beautiful ceremony, Amelia found herself opening up, allowing her feelings to flow through the bond. Her doubts, her fears, but also her growing affection for this alien queen. When the ceremony ended, Amelia reluctantly removed the circlet. The connection faded, leaving her feeling strangely alone. She began searching for words. Intimate, the Queen finished, her skin now a calm blue. "Yes," Amelia agreed. "Do all Valerian couples share that?" The Queen nodded. "It is how we ensure compatibility before bonding. If the emotional resonance is discordant, the match is reconsidered." "And ours?" Amelia asked quietly. The Queen's skin glowed with a warm golden hue. "Harmony," she said simply. Over the next days, Amelia participated in more Valerian bonding rituals. Each one revealed more about their culture, their values, their way of life. She met more of Zara's advisors, learned about Valerian politics and history, found herself increasingly engaged in discussions about the future alliance. Admiral Kate and the human delegation participated in diplomatic meetings running in parallel with the bonding preparations. The alliance was taking shape, formal treaties being drafted, technology exchanges being negotiated. On the 5th day, Amelia was given a tour of the outpost engineering facilities. The Valerian crystal technology fascinated her. Its applications seemed almost limitless, from power generation to medical treatment to faster-than-light travel. The head engineer, a Valerian named Lyra, showed Amelia how the crystals were grown and programmed. "You have a natural understanding of our technology," Lyra observed. "Your approach is different but complementary to ours." Amelia found herself engaged in deep technical discussions offering human perspectives that the Valerians found novel. She realized she wasn't just a symbolic figure here. Her skills, her knowledge were valued. That evening at dinner, Queen Zara watched her with obvious pride. "You have impressed my engineers," she said. "They rarely approve of outsiders." Amelia smiled. "It's amazing technology. I have so many ideas for how we could adapt some of it for human use." The Queen's skin brightened. "That is precisely why this alliance matters. The exchange of ideas, not just resources or protection." Later that night, as Amelia prepared for sleep, a message arrived from Admiral Kate requesting a private meeting. Curious, Amelia made her way to the Admiral's temporary quarters. Admiral Kate was reviewing documents on a tablet when Amelia arrived. "You wanted to see me?" Amelia asked. The Admiral gestured for her to sit. "I wanted to check in with you personally." "How are you holding up?" Amelia considered the question. "It's been intense, but not in a bad way. The Valerians are fascinating. Their technology, their culture, even these bonding rituals, they've been beautiful in their own way." "Admiral." Kate studied her face. "You're actually considering going through with this, aren't you?" Amelia realized with some surprise that she was more than just considering it. "I think I want to," she admitted. "It feels right somehow." The Admiral nodded slowly. "Earth Command has been monitoring the situation closely. They wanted me to remind you that you can still back out. We could negotiate a different kind of alliance, but it wouldn't be as strong, would it?" Amelia asked. Admiral Kate sighed. "No, it wouldn't. The symbolic power of this union has already changed how the galactic community sees us. We're being taken more seriously. The Valerians are sharing technology. They've guarded for centuries, and the Dravak have pulled back their border fleets." Amelia felt the weight of this information. "So my decision affects more than just me." "It does," the Admiral acknowledged. "But that doesn't mean your personal feelings don't matter. This can't just be about duty." Amelia thought about Queen Zara, about the connection they had begun to form. "It isn't just duty," she said softly. The Admiral smiled slightly. "You like her?" Amelia felt herself blush. "She's nothing like I expected. An alien queen, I thought she'd be cold, imperious, but she's thoughtful, intelligent. She listens, she cares about her people, and she sees you." Admiral Kate finished. "The real you. Not just a human representative, but you." Amelia Brooks. "Yes," Amelia said, relieved. "That someone understood?" The Admiral leaned back. "Well then, I support your decision, whatever it is. Just be sure it's what you want, not what you think. Earth needs." The next morning, Amelia was summoned to an urgent meeting. The Dravak had sent a communication, demanding an audience. The message was directed specifically to Queen Zara and her human mate. "This is unusual," the Queen said as they prepared. Her skin was tense, patterns of concern rippling across it. "The Dravak rarely negotiate, they prefer conquest, Admiral." Kate looked grim. "It's likely a delay tactic while they gather more forces. Still, we must hear them." The Queen decided. "We respond to peace overtures, even potentially false ones." The communication was established on the main viewing screen. The Dravak leader appeared, his reptilian features set in what might have been a smile. "Queen Zara," he began, "and the human who has captured her interest, I offer congratulations on your upcoming bonding." The Queen's skin remained carefully neutral, stating no emotions. "Thank you for your message. What do you wish to discuss?" The Dravak leader tilted his head. "We have been enemies too long. I propose a truce. To demonstrate our sincerity, we offer a gift. A rare artifact from the ancient times before our peoples diverged." Amelia glanced at Zara, whose skin showed brief surprise. She realized there must be history between the Valerians and Dravak that she didn't know about. "We will consider your offer." The Queen replied diplomatically. Where would this exchange take place? The Dravak leader suggested a neutral location, a small uninhabited moon in a nearby system. The meeting would take place in 2 days' time. A small delegation from each side would attend. After the communication ended, Queen Zara called her advisors. Together, Amelia and Admiral Kate joined them. "This is almost certainly a trap," One of the Valyrian security officers said, his skin dark with suspicion. The Queen nodded. Yet we cannot ignore the possibility of peace, however slim. And he mentioned an artifact from before the divergence that is significant. Amelia was confused. What divergence? The Queen turned to her. Many thousands of years ago, Valyrians and Dravak were one species. We evolved differently when some of our ancestors colonized worlds with different environments. The Dravak chose planets with high radiation and extreme heat, which over generations changed them physically and culturally. This was fascinating information to Amelia. So you're related? Species. Distant cousins, the Queen said with what might have been sadness. The Dravak chose aggression and conquest while we pursued knowledge and cooperation. Our philosophies diverged as much as our bodies. Admiral Kate looked thoughtful. Could this artifact be important enough to risk a meeting? The Queen's skin shifted through contemplative patterns. If it truly exists, it could be of immense cultural significance to both our peoples. But the risk, I have an idea, Amelia said suddenly. Everyone turned to look at her. We know they're likely planning something. But what if we prepare our own surprise over the next 2 days? Preparations were made. The Queen insisted that Amelia remain behind, but Amelia refused. If this is a trap, I'm not letting you face it alone, she said firmly. Besides, my plan requires both of us. The Queen's skin flashed with worry, then with pride, a golden hue that Amelia was coming to recognize as affection. Very well. But you will be protected at all times. The neutral moon was barren. Its surface cratered, and dusty, a small Valyrian vessel carried their delegation, Queen Zara, Amelia, 3 Valyrian guards, and Admiral Kate representing Earth. They landed near a rock formation that provided some natural shelter. The Dravak ship arrived shortly after, much larger than necessary for a simple diplomatic meeting confirming their suspicions. Only 5 Dravak emerged, led by their commander. They carried a large container, presumably holding the artifact. They approached the meeting point with measured steps. Greetings, Queen Zara, the Dravak leader said. His reptilian eyes shifted to Amelia. I am pleased to meet the human who has earned such high status among our cousins. Amelia nodded, keeping her expression neutral. She was wearing a special suit the Valyrians had prepared for her protection. It looked like standard environmental gear, but contained several hidden features. The Dravak commander gestured to the container. We bring the crystalline codex, a record of our shared ancestral knowledge before our peoples. Separated. Queen Zara's skin flashed with genuine surprise. The codex was believed lost millennia ago. The Dravak smiled, showing pointed teeth. We have guarded it, waiting for the right moment to reveal it. The container was opened, revealing a large crystal formation etched with intricate patterns. The Queen stepped forward, her skin showing scientific curiosity. Despite her wariness, the crystal appeared genuine, ancient, and powerful. Amelia stayed close, watching the Dravak carefully as the Queen examined the artifact. Amelia noticed subtle movements among the Dravak guards. They were shifting positions surrounding them. Now, Amelia said quietly. Instantly, the Queen activated a device on her wrist. A pulse of energy spread outward, passing through everyone present. The Dravak guards shimmered, their forms changing. They were not Dravak at all, but a different species entirely. Shapeshifters hired as assassins. The trap exposed, a firefight erupted. The Valyrian guards moved with incredible speed. Protecting their queen, Admiral Kate drew her weapon, firing with precision. The false Dravak attacked with vicious efficiency. Amelia activated her suit's special features. A protective shield formed around her and the Queen. The real Dravak commander hissed in frustration. You knew, he accused. We suspected, the Queen replied. Your proposal of peace was too sudden, too convenient. The commander laughed. Our real purpose was not assassination, but distraction. Suddenly, alarms sounded from the Valyrian ship. A massive Dravak fleet had emerged from hyperspace near the Valyrian outpost. The peace overture had been designed to lure the Queen away, leaving the outpost vulnerable. We need to get back, Admiral Kate shouted. They fought their way back to their ship, the Valyrian guards providing cover. The artifact had been abandoned in the chaos. As they reached their vessel, the lead assassin made one final desperate attack, lunging for the Queen. Amelia moved without thinking, placing herself between the assassin and Zara. Her protective suit absorbed most of the impact, but the force threw her against the ship's hull. She felt a sharp pain in her side. The Queen's skin flared bright with rage and fear. She struck with all four arms, moving faster than Amelia had ever seen her. The assassin fell and didn't rise aboard their ship. They raced back toward the outpost. The Dravak fleet had already begun their attack. "We won't reach them in time," Admiral Kate said grimly. The Queen's skin was pulsing with determination. "We have one advantage. They do not know about our new defensive capabilities." She activated a communication channel to the outpost, giving authorization codes for a secret weapon. The outpost acknowledged immediately. As they approached, they witnessed an incredible sight. The Valerian outpost was surrounded by a web of crystalline energy growing and expanding outward. The Dravak ships caught in it were immobilized, their weapons unable to penetrate the defense. "It's beautiful," Amelia whispered. Despite the pain in her side, crystal lattice defense, the Queen explained. "The technology we were preparing to share with Earth as part of our alliance." Their small ship slipped through the defensive web, rejoining the outpost. As soon as they landed, medical teams rushed to meet them. Amelia was quickly taken to the medical center. The injury to her side more serious than she had initially realized. Queen Zara never left her side as the Valerian healers worked. The Queen's skin was pale with worry. Her four hands clasped tightly together. "You risked yourself for me," the Queen said, her voice uncharacteristically emotional. Amelia managed a smile. "Isn't that what mates do?" The Queen's skin flushed pink. "The healers say you will recover, fully good," Amelia said. "Because I still have a wedding to attend." The Queen's eyes widened. "You still wish to proceed with the bonding?" After all this danger, Amelia reached out, taking one of the Queen's hands in her own. The danger just made things clearer. "I want this, I want us. This isn't about politics anymore. At least not just about politics." The Queen's skin glowed with joy. Her four arms gently embraced Amelia, careful of her injuries. The Dravak attack had failed. Their forces retreated after the crystal defense proved impenetrable. Their attempt to prevent the alliance had only strengthened the resolve of both humans and Valerians. 2 days later, when Amelia had sufficiently recovered, the final bonding preparations began. The ceremony would take place in the Great Hall of the outpost. Representatives from Earth had arrived, including Amelia's family, who had been flown in on a special diplomatic vessel. Her mother hugged her tightly when they reunited. "Oh, honey," she said, "when a mining engineer from Ohio ends up marrying an alien queen. Well, that's something they never prepared us for in parent school." Amelia laughed. "It's been quite a journey." Her father shook his head in amazement. "We always knew you were special, kiddo, but this..." Gestured around at the Crystal Palace, the alien technology, the Valerian attendants. "This is beyond anything we imagined." Meeting Amelia's parents seemed to make Queen Zara nervous. Her skin cycled through colors rapidly as she greeted them formally. "Pleasure is mine," she said carefully. "I hope you will find our customs agreeable." Amelia's mother surprised everyone by stepping forward and hugging the Queen. "My daughter seems to love you. That's all I need to know." The Queen froze for a moment then. Her skin glowed golden with pleasure. The bonding ceremony was a blend of Valerian and human traditions. Amelia wore a dress of living crystal that shifted colors with her emotions, while the Queen wore ceremonial robes that left her four arms free to move in the traditional gestures. Admiral Kate represented Earth officially, while the highest-ranking Valerian elder presided over the ceremony. Guests from both worlds filled the Great Hall. Their union was as much a political alliance as a personal one, but standing before Queen Zara, Amelia found she no longer cared about the politics. The Valerian elder spoke of unity, of finding connection across the stars, of two worlds becoming stronger together. The Queen's skin glowed with emotion as she recited the traditional vows in both Valerian and English. When it was Amelia's turn, she spoke from the heart. "I never expected to find love among the stars. I never expected to find you. but now that I have, I cannot imagine my life without you. You are not what I planned, but you are everything I never knew I wanted. A tear slipped down the queen's face, a very human gesture she must have learned for this moment. Her skin glowed with the purest gold Amelia had ever seen, by the traditions of both. Our peoples, the elder proclaimed, you are now bonded mates, leaders together, queens united. Their first kiss as a married couple sent ripples of light through the crystal hall. The gathered guests from both worlds cheered their approval.